The tourist group has arrived in Pyongyang, the capital of the Democratic People's Republic of Korea, a land of morning calm.
The guests visited the bronze statues of great President Kim Il-sung and Kim Jong-il on Mansu Hill. They placed bouquets before the bronze statues and paid respects with infinite reverence for the great leaders who laid the groundwork for the prosperity of Juche Korea and rendered immortal services for the Korean Revolution and the cause of global independence.
They visited the Arch of Triumph at the foot of Moran Hill. They attentively looked round the Arch of Triumph, hearing an explanation about the immortal exploits of the great leader President Kim Il-sung, who embarked on the road of revolution in his teens and defeated the brigandist Japanese imperialists through more than 20-year-long anti-Japanese war and finally accomplished the historic cause of Korea's liberation. They are running to Kaesong, a city near the demarcation line.
And this house, this small house, is where the armistice talks were held, written already.
They looked round the conference room of armistice talks and the hall where the armistice agreement was signed at Panmunjom. After their serious military, political and moral defeat in the 3-year-long Korean War, the US imperialist aggressors brought themselves to their knees before the Korean people and signed the Armistice Agreement in the historic building on July the 27th, 1953. They visit a significant monument to autograph of the great leader Kim Il-sung set up at Panmunjom. It is a signature left on a document of national reunification in the last days of his life by the great leader Kim Il-sung, who made all his painstaking efforts for the Korean people to live in a reunified country, feeling the misfortunes and sufferings the Korean nation are experiencing because of division. They visit the Gyeongsang Korea History Museum. They attentively look around the relics and exhibits showing the history and culture of Korea, which was the first unified state of Korea. They visit Kim Il-sung Square in the heart of the capital city, Pyongyang. Important political and cultural events are grandly held here in the square on important occasions.
The guests visited the Kumsusan Palace of the Sun, the Supreme Temple of Tsuche, where the great Kim Il-sung and Kim Jong-il are laid in state.
They visit the native home of President Kim Il-sung at Mangyongdae. They are attentively looking around the mementos preserved with care, hearing an explanation about the glorious revolutionary history and revolutionary family of the great leader Generalissimo Kim Il-sung, whom the Korean people acclaimed for the first time in thousands of years' history.
Mangyongdae is the sacred place where the President Kim Il-sung was born and spent his early years. The name
They visited the Victorious Fatherland Liberation War Museum.
capital performance during December 1960, 11 months after capture. The following documents were released on January.
They went round the outdoor exhibition ground, including the merited weapons exhibition site and the sculpture of victory at the monument to the victorious Fatherland Liberation War.
Okay, now let's get the museum.
This is the Mangyang School Children's Palace, where school children conduct various activities after school. The visitors looked round different circle rooms of the palace, hearing an explanation about the palace, which was wonderfully built into an extracurricular educational base for school children, thanks to the great loving care of the Workers' Party of Korea, which does not spare anything for the children. They visit the Grand People Study House, wonderfully built in Korean-style architecture in the heart of Pyongyang. The Grand People Study House, built under the great care and meticulous guidance of President Kim Il-sung and respected Kim Jong-il, is a center where the Korean working people study modern science and technology and cultural knowledge without paying a penny, and also an important center for dissemination of scientific and technological knowledge. They visit the 3 Charters for National Reunification Memorial Tower. They look round the tower, hearing an explanation about the fact that the 3 Charters for National Reunification are the correctest program to achieve independent reunification.
Vedeți mai puțin. Așa la mișcare, mă acolo. Mișcare, mă acolo.
The guests visited the Ullim Falls in Chonne County, Gangwon Province. Ullim, or roaring, is called Seoul for its roar echoing out of the valley. The majestic and beautiful falls is a cultural recreation resort of the people.
They looked round the Pyongyang metro, which was magnificently built into an underground palace. The Pyongyang metro was wonderfully built thanks to the popular policy and meticulous guidance of the Workers' Party of Korea and the government of the DPRK that placed the interests of the people above anything else and let everything serve the people. It is an important means for mass traffic in Pyongyang and looks like an underground palace for its splendid internal decorations. They visited the Arch of Triumph at the foot of Moran Hill. They attentively looked round the Arch of Triumph, hearing an explanation about the immortal exploits of the great leader President Kim Il-sung, who embarked on the road of revolution in his teens and defeated brigandist Japanese imperialists through more than 20-year-long anti-Japanese war and finally accomplished the historic cause of Korea's liberation. They call at the tower of the Juchaideer on the bank of the river Dadong. They looked round the tower and subthematic sculptural groups, hearing an explanation about the tower, which was wonderfully erected as a grand monument of the times, telling the whole world the truth and invincibility of the immortal Juchaideer created by President Kim Il-sung.
cake is ready here. I'd like to prepare the cake.
The guests visited the bronze statues of great President Kim Il-sung and Kim Jong-il on Mansu Hill. They placed bouquets before the bronze statues and paid respects with infinite reverence for the great leaders who laid the groundwork for the prosperity of Juche Korea and rendered immortal services for the Korean Revolution and the cause of global independence.
They visited the magnificent 8-kilometer-long West Sea Barrage built on the sea. They feasted their eyes on the whole view of the barrage, listening to a briefing on the barrage built into another grand monumental creation of the era of the Workers' Party of Korea, into a proud structure demonstrating the might of the independent national economy of Korea under the wise leadership of the great leaders Kim Il-sung and Kim Jong-il.
기수거라 그래. Thank you, 김치.
김치.
화성숙에서 하느님께서 간 타베아드 성원으로 장출.
The present days in Korea, a land of morning calm, dignified with sungun, have passed, and it is time for the guests to leave. The Pyongyang Video Company sincerely wishes them to recall with deep emotion those pleasant days they spent in Korea watching this video program. At the same time, it wishes them good health and continued great success in their work.